Social platform is really the embodiment of your overall social objectives, the tools, technologies, everything that you're going to use to create your presence, create your overall interactive or social experience on the social web. The platform itself includes the networks, places people frequent online. It's built around the applications, around the things that people use, around the sites that they visit. And again, your overall strategy kind of pulls all this stuff together into this idea of a social platform. Create your applications, then embed them into the platforms relevant to your customers, influencers, partners. Pretty wide range of applications here. Lots of things that we can do. So let's take a look at this. First off, social technology and business. How does this stuff fit together? Number one, we have this experience ecosystem, these passions, lifestyles, causes, all the things that people are talking about and where they're talking about it. This is what drives the conversation. Note at the center of this entire thing, here's again this operations and marketing connection that comes back. What we do and what we say have to really line up on the social web. Otherwise, what people talk about will be the extent to which those two things do not line up. And obviously, we don't want that. So whether it is things like the Good Guide, an application that lets you simply scan a barcode and see into the company's investment practices, their hiring policies, their environmental scores, things like that, and then make a purchase decision based on that. Or something like the innovation through the Starbucks Ideas platform that resulted in the little green splash stick that snaps into the top of the cup. And all of these kinds of things were born in conversation, linked together by people sharing ideas, talking through things, exchanging information, and using that in relevant to us, using that in the context of a some kind of a conversion or purchase related decision, something like that. Number two, the social applications. This use of existing technology, use of plugins to Facebook or Google Plus, for example, as a way of extending the breadth and depth of the experiences that we provide for people who visit our pages or visit our communities. And then that leads into this idea of number three, the community platforms. And we're right back again to this basis in lifestyle, passion, cause as the core that is pulling people together around which they have these conversations. And then this becomes a loop, this experience ecosystem built and expressed through the social applications, resulting in conversations that take place in and around either the communities that we create through one of the community platforms or communities that we participate in that may exist someplace else, but we have an active role in those. And so we then get the benefit of this conversation in the context of that community. Sitting at the center, of course, is, again, operations and marketing. And this idea of who we are as an organization, who we say we are as an organization, these things really lining up and being able to respond to what's going on inside the experience ecosystem. Starbucks, and a way of looking at their overall brand platform as expressed through social technology. First off, they had a brand recovery effort, and part of this was borne out in the online and social components that led to My Starbucks Ideation platform. In addition to that, and this platform idea really comes into play when you recognize they also closed their stores, they retrained baristas, they engaged customers, they did a bunch of things that all together added up to, wow, Starbucks is really reshaping itself, reorienting itself, kind of driving right back to its roots of just this wonderful coffee experience, really trying to get back to that basic element, but doing it not by some brand wizard who came in and said, okay, you need to do this and that should be blue and that sort of thing, but rather by going to its customers and asking them, number one, what do you really want? What should we be working on? What's important to you? And at the same time, recognizing that if you can choose a Starbucks based on which Starbucks makes better coffee than the other Starbucks, there's a deep-seated problem. And they literally closed the stores, they retrained the baristas, got everybody back on the same page, and said, we are here, we are about one thing, and that is an excellent coffee experience. Engaged customers, retrained baristas, and took this very seriously. They looked at innovation as a way of both understanding where to go with the brand and also to innovate with very practical tools like the Starbucks phone application available for Android, for iPhone. You can literally do away with the card, leave the house with nothing but a mobile phone, and run over to Starbucks, grab a coffee, flash your phone, and out you go. And all of your rewards, all of everything else is tracked on that. It's a nice, comprehensive, very simple to use application. All of this stuff came out of this view of social as a platform, and the explicit definition of a social platform built around this brand recovery, this innovation, this customer engagement. This whole package kind of comes together. When you look at the Starbucks experience and the way that this has changed, consider all that goes into it rather than simply the sum of the parts, right? It's not just a mobile app. It's not just an ideation app. It's not just a Twitter presence. It's all of this stuff together, this idea of a platform built around very deep-seated business objectives in the brand itself. Zappos, right? Another idea of platform, or another take on this idea of platform. This website plus sharing tools, recognizing that it's service, not just shoes. Free return reduces the risk. This idea of understanding what drives conversation, what causes customers to hesitate on a purchase, how can we get around that kind of thing, and building all of this stuff through business objectives into this idea of a very powerful social platform. In the case of Zappos, it extends to Twitter, it extends to Facebook, all the places where you'd expect them to be. And every place is guided by this idea of brand as culture. The culture book that Zappos sells, they publish a culture book. All employees participate in this. It's a way of signaling both to the outside world, here's who we are and here's what we stand for, and a way of signaling to the inside world, right? Inside the organization, this is who we are, this is what we stand for. And then when those two things line up, you just get this amazing conversation around Zappos online in social channels that just absolutely propels the brand. And away from the consumer applications, again, here's Ford and the use of collaborative technology. Here's a very different kind of application, and yet the same underlying behavior. This desire to collaborate, this need for efficiency, for productivity, for just responding to issues, the kinds of things that collaboration brings. This is the Ford Supplier Portal. It enables all of Ford's suppliers to get together to work on issues, to talk about things, to sort of check in and see what's going on. Connecting Ford, its suppliers, and its business partners is core to the way in which Ford now does business, responds to market conditions. So again, you see this sort of social business and social platform concept coming out in how does Ford define or redefine itself in terms of its social strategy. And here, it's not the consumer-facing strategy. This is a pure business-to-business side, the supply chain side of its social strategy. So again, social platform built around your overall social objectives, right? Understand your business objectives, understand what you're trying to get done. Let that be the anchor point for your platform. The platforms include networks, places people frequent online, all the tools and the applications that you use to create the experiences. As you create your applications, embed them into the platforms that are relevant to your customers, influencers, and partners. In other words, sort of this fish where the fish are, or go where people are concept. Create your applications, drop them into the networks, and roll all this into your sort of fundamental definition of your social platform, sort of go-to-market social experience, if you will, that is really built, again, around the passions, lifestyles, causes of the members of the people that you want to participate in this, of your customers. And in doing so, anchor your brand in something that's going to develop a life of its own and really propel itself and your brand at the same time.